Dimapur District PGB office te aje laga 3 day PGB laga national spokesperson Mmhonlumo Kikon bra luigena aje ekta press conference tishe kotha kora homoe tan kuise ki aje laga press conference to with regards to the issues going on around social media noilepi Congress party bra PGB party ke attack kora opore address kurubo gona idu chanai dina thakisha kotha kora homoe Mmhonlumo Kikon bra idu kuise ki PGB to hotai nation to agide rakhe living aside family noilebi other leaders aro kotha kora homoi to bi kuise ki Congress party to poila bra hi naga manu laga issue noilebi naga manu laga opore interest thakya nai kuise aro Congress party especially Nehru family khan ta khan to ekta anti naga ase kona itu koigena thakise ai bi aji laga press conference te ki opore kotha kurse noilebi ki laga issues kan lugina kotha kurse ami khan par phal bra huni lobo.
Welcome one and all to this press conference convened by the Bharatiya Janata Party Nagaland. Today we have called for this press conference not to clarify but to address some issues which are being going around in the social media. The Congress has been attacking the BJP, whereas the BJP in the state of Nagaland is not contesting, but our alliance partner NDPP, Dr. Chumben Murray as the PDA consensus candidate is contesting. And taking this point into account, we want to address some issues regarding the attacks made by the Congress in the press conferences and also in some of the rallies. Today we are privileged to have our national spokesperson in charge of Mizoram State, national spokesperson, Mr. Mmhonlumo Kikon, who is also former minister and a senior BJP party leader. We also have our state general secretary, Sri Sanepsi Jamia. We also have Mr. Shilu Kaba, who is the state secretary and in charge of Dimapur district. So now I hand over the time to sir.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to have all of you in our press conference. As Sapralu has mentioned, we invited you to make certain issues clear and also to reach out to the people of Nagaland before we go to the polls. Before I start, I would like to, using this opportunity, congratulate the 4 successful candidates in the recently declared UPSC results. This is a blessing and a boon to the state. We wish them well in their future as civil servants of this country. It also augurs well for the Nagas and the state of Nagaland. As we start on a good note. The other point I want to make before I start with my press conference is a simple information to all of you that the INC's national spokesperson, Surjewala, has been banned by the Election Commission for 48 hours starting 6 p.m. last night. It is because of his vile, derogatory and sexist comments on Hema Malini. And I was also surprised that after having made such a comment, I saw the video where he had made the comment. He came to Nagaland and assuming moral, political right, has given us a long lecture of why they are fighting against the BJP. So, having said that, let me begin. BJP is a pro-development party. It has its concern right at the center of India's interests. It puts nation first above family and other leaders. And that has been exhibited and demonstrated by the 10 years of Prime Minister Modi's tenure. And as we go to the polls, we have already issued our manifesto. I did not talk about it. I just want to take our people back to history where we have witnessed the Congress rule in this country. Let's begin with Nehru. I want to recall his visit to Nagaland in 1953 with U Nu, the Prime Minister of Myanmar, where Naga delegation wanted to meet him and submit a delegation memorandum, but they were not allowed. So they left the meeting obviously angry that the Prime Minister did not meet them. The question is, right from the beginning, they've not been interested in listening to the Naga people and the issues raised by Nagas, and it's demonstrated by his behavior in 1953. Prior to 1947, when India got independence, there were a lot of discussion in the Constituent Assembly on even securing the borders. So if you look at the Indo-Myanmar border today, especially the Naga areas, both in India and Myanmar, you will see that there were fault lines which were initiated, or rather which the Congress ignored. And that attitude and that approach has continued till date by the Congress party towards the Nagas. So we have a historically long list of Congress neglecting not only the northeastern region, but the Naga people as well. I say this because today the Congress leaders have selective amnesia. They talk as if they have always been behind the interests of the Naga people, which is clearly not, and history tells us so. In the 1962 war, all of us know that Nehru left the region to itself by saying that my heart goes out to the people of Assam. And in 1962, let me remind you that Nagaland was part of, or the Naga Hills was part of Assam then, and we had not got our statehood. And he just left us at our mercy. As the Prime Minister of India, we expected that Nehru should come and defend his citizens in every corner of this country. But we have failed, he has failed the people of this region. And I would like to again point out one of the development paradigm under which the Congress worked and under which the Congress looked at towards this region. And it was said by none other than A.K. Antony, who was the Defense Minister of India from the Congress party. When asked about development in the Northeast, especially in the Indo-China border, he said, and this is available on record, that if we develop this region and China captures this region, it will become part of China. So in simple terms, they didn't really care about this region or the development of this region. Today, you cannot be waxing eloquent about the lack of your interest in developing this region. And we forget that when this issue of statehood of Nagaland was discussed, Nehru told the then governor of Assam that, and I quote, he refers to the Nagas and the Naga issue as gangrenous, meaning something which is already, spoiled and therefore needs to be cut off. And this is available in the records. I just want to highlight that the Nehru-Gandhi family has always been anti-Naga, and they've always shown lack of interest towards the Nagas. So this is historically available. It is nothing new. And the next case in point is Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi was the only PM, Prime Minister of India, who had and exhibited through the emergency dictatorial tendencies. And it was during her time as Prime Minister, especially during the emergency, when they attempted to change the Constitution of India. So the only Prime Ministers who have attempted to change the Constitution of India is Indira Gandhi of the Congress. Our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi ji, has said recently, as recent as yesterday, that as long as he is alive, he will never change or never attempt to change the Constitution of India, because Constitution of India is sacred to the BJP. So for that matter, we want to clarify that for once and all, that our respect for the Constitution of India is sacred and there is no such attempt. I was particularly reminded of the forced male sterilization program that Indira Gandhi envisaged and implemented during the emergency. It is because they came up with a solution of forced male sterilization to address the population increase in India. So if you look at that period and today, I mean, if you have a policy to address population growth, it is not through forced male sterilization, but the lack of proper policy planning has been clearly exhibited, and their intention to force and compel and implement such anti-people agenda was always there from the beginning. It is not a new thing that we see today. And just because they've been in opposition for the past 10 years, they cannot change the narrative by coming and rehashing all criticism of other parties, not just the BJP. I would, in reference to the Nagas again, Indira Gandhi imposed the Shillong Accord on the Nagas. We would have had a peaceful future if she had not manipulated to impose the Shillong Accord on the Nagas. Today, any reader or any student of Naga history will tell you that that was a policy error which was initiated and implemented by her during her time as Prime Minister of India. So right from Nehru, her father neglecting the Nagas, adopting anti-Naga policy, she continued that, and till today we are facing the consequences of the Shillong Accord because of these people. Compare that to the prime ministers put up by the Bharatiya Janata Party. You would see that Atal Bihari Vajpayee, during his time as prime minister, had recognized the uniqueness of Naga history. It's a bold and clear stand taken by the government of India under the leadership of Prime Minister Vajpayee of the BJP. Secondly, refer to 2015 and 2017, Prime Minister Modi had signed the framework agreement and also the agreed position. These are all serious commitment, not just random empty talks, which the UPA did for the past 10 years they were in power from 2004 to 14, where they did not sign any agreement, where AFSPA was continuing on and on because they had no agenda for the Naga people and also for the northeastern region. I'd like to take you to the reasons why they have been insensitive towards this region. Nehru had clearly stated that he didn't want to develop this region because he feared that India, although it's a democratic country, might fall into the hands of the Chinese. And he didn't want to develop this region. Today, after Prime Minister Modi came to power, you would see from 0 airport in Arunachal Pradesh to 9 airports and mini airports in Arunachal Pradesh. You would see that the BJP has performed miraculously in terms of the development of the Northeast region under Prime Minister Modi. And compared to, I will come back to that, compared to the Congress UPA time, a Prime Minister who was made a Rajya Sabha MP from Assam did not think of Northeast as his home, although it was his adopted home. He was a Rajya Sabha MP from Assam, and he was Prime Minister for 10 years. Did he even come once as a sitting Prime Minister to the state of Nagaland? No. Prime Minister Modi came to Nagaland in 2014 in his first year as the Prime Minister of India to inaugurate the Hornbill Festival. And if you remember, the Prime Minister Mmhonlumo Singh of the UPA, Mmhonlumo Singh ji, just did not show any interest for the Nagas, the Naga people, and the state of Nagaland. They were only looking east, saying that India is going to use the Northeast as a land link to Southeast Asia towards the development of the economy of this region. He was only looking. When Prime Minister Modi came in 2014 in Kisama during the Hornbill Festival, December 1, he said, from today in Kohima, in Nagaland, I will rephrase our agenda and our narrative for this region and for the country by changing the term look is to act is policy. A significant policy change in terms of international relations was made in Nagaland for the first time in the history of India, of modern India. Would such a policy change happen during the Congress time? Have we forgotten what the Congress has done to the state of Nagaland or to the Naga people? Some may forget because they have collective amnesia. But majority of Nagas cannot forget our history, our past, and the Congress attitude towards the Naga people. We cannot forget. You see, I'll get back to that, but today their lackadaisical approach and attitude towards the Naga has been exhibited, has been shown, is recorded, and we cannot forget. No young Naga or old Naga will forget what they have done towards the Nagas. When they got the opportunity for 10 years, they were busy looting the country, 2G, so many scams. All of you know, we need not mention any one of that. And today they are talking of corruption. Corruption is in the Congress DNA. Everyone has seen that. Surjewala came here. He is also a dynast like Rahul Gandhi. His father was also a minister. And Naga people do not believe in dynastic politics. Even if you are chief minister, there is no guarantee your son will be MLA also. Yes. It is not in Naga culture. Without knowing Naga culture, they are talking to us and lecturing to us about Naga culture. First, they don't understand the basic, the principles of Article 371A. Who has said in the BJP that we will remove Article 371A? Please tell us. Show us the recording. Prime Minister has said we will safeguard the interests of the people of this region, of Nagaland. And he has steadfastly maintained that. BJP has been in the government for 10 years. 10 years we had majority government in the parliament. Have we ever tried to change the constitution of India? Although we had the majority. I remember in 2014 when Amit Shah ji was the president of the BJP. He came to Dimapur and Chumukidima. We had a meeting and he said, nobody will force you to stop your culture. Whether it is in choosing what to eat or in deciding what to wear. It is up to you. It is a free democratic country. And we are here only to strengthen the hands of democracy. Has there been any proof? There has been loose talk and all this propaganda against the BJP is because there is no agenda there in the Congress party today. I would not like to go into what is going to be the situation of the country post-election because it's already clear to the nation. Today at 10 a.m., Rahul Gandhi gave a press conference in UP. He said, I don't do poll predictions. Then the next statement he made was, I think BJP is going to get 140 to 150. He started doing prediction. He himself is saying, I don't do poll prediction. And he's saying that party will decide whether I will contest in Amethi or not. Whereas when Himanta Biswa Sharma went to meet Sonia Gandhi after getting clearance from the cheat scam fund allegation, he went to meet Sonia Gandhi ji. Sonia Gandhi said, you've met me good, and this is on TV. This came out in the recent India Today interview with Himanta. He said, Sonia Gandhi said, you go and meet Rahul Gandhi. You be friends with Rahul Gandhi. And I don't want to get into all the details, but you see, by saying that CEC will decide, we are a cadre-based party, I mean, everyone in the country who loves the nation and the growth and the future of this country are leaving the Congress party. There is a mass exodus of Congress leadership in the BJP or other parties today. So, by saying that, he is only belying the truth within the party. Why is he contesting from Wayanad? When, the basis of his, or the primary place where he contested is Amethi. So a leader who is running away from his home because he is rejected cannot lead this country. And today the Congress cannot come and lecture us about our culture because they don't understand the basic tenets of Naga culture. If they knew, they would not be talking like that. As a Congress, I was observing as a Congress leader, this Surjewala said in yesterday's meeting, a lot of things which actually sounded demeaning. There is that attitude of, looking down on the Nagas. And I don't think any young Naga can accept that. It's okay. We are not going to attack them on their personality, attack the candidate on their personal issue. We are only taking issue with the issues they have raised. So while doing that, he could not even pronounce the name of Subbu Meren. So he was searching for a shortcut and calling him Superman. I would want the MP from Nagaland to be articulate in the parliament. He's not going to speak in the parliament in Nagamis. And if he is part of the ruling NDA, there are things that he can do for the state of Nagaland that Congress cannot even imagine. So I think there is no alternative, but all this baseless allegation is something which we need to understand because the insensitiveness and the lack of concern of the BJP, of the Congress for the state of Nagaland is apparent. There was a time when Manmohan Singh was Prime Minister. He never bothered to come even once. Prime Minister Modi ensured that all the sitting ministers and MPs of the BJP and NDA government should visit all the northeastern states every month. From having no union ministers coming to our place, forget about the Prime Minister during the UPA time, we've had many leaders coming, many ministers coming. And what did it do for the state of Nagaland and the northeastern region? Instead of depending on third source, fourth source to understand the development happening on the grassroots, they came so first-hand, and there were many decisions which were taken based on their visits, which enabled and helped the development of this region called the Northeast. I want to recall, and I want the people of Nagaland to recall. There was a time when a lot of issues were raised by citizens, including account on the roads, sector in Nagaland. When Gadkari came, I didn't know also, but he said a special purpose vehicle called NHIDCL was created only for the development of roads in the Northeast. And he has actually already sanctioned 15,000 crores for the state of Nagaland. During the UPA time, unheard of, impossible. In my entire adult life, and I guess it's the same for all of us who are from Nagaland, who have not seen 4-lane roads. Today, whether it's under completion or not, it's not because of the central government. It's not because of the state government. There are some land owner issue, meaning it is our people who have land owner issue, who are using the weapon of customary laws to assert their rights. Meaning Article 371A is very active in the state of Nagaland. But the roads, which I have not seen in my entire life, has been built. Vajpayee ji, when he was Prime Minister, came to Nagaland in 2004 and he went by road from Dimapur to Kohima because this weather was bad, he could not take the chopper. And he saw that, and he told our Chief Minister then that if this is your best roads in Nagaland, I wonder what other road condition would be. And he promised that I will make this Kohima-Dimapur road 4-lane road. But unfortunately, UPA came to power. For the next 10 years, they slept on it. Only after Prime Minister Modi came to power and established this National Highway Infrastructural Development Corporation Limited, a special purpose vehicle for the roads in Northeast, did the construction start. And I'm happy that this is not just the only 4-lane road we have. We have 4-lane road in Dimapur to Chumukedima, Purnabazar to Chumukedima. Then the other Khatkati to Patkai bridge also has started. Only those who are blind to development will ignore that this has happened during Prime Minister Modi's time. Only those who don't want to see the development that is happening in Nagaland will talk about it. I've been a legislator, I go to my villages, I meet the villagers. One thing, 10 years ago or 11 years ago, I never saw tap water connection in the kitchen sink. Today, whenever I go, because of Jal Jeevan Mission, because of the coverage it has given, we see that when we have food, we can wash our hands in the basin of the kitchen because there is tap water right in your kitchen. And how difficult it is, people from rural area will understand how difficult it is to go fetch water. Think about the old people who would find it difficult to fetch water. Basic needs of the people have been met. The most difficult problem of both the politicians and the bureaucrats and government servants in Nagaland, or even entrepreneurs who are doing well, is your relative who is sick and has no money to address his health issue. When Ayushman Bharat came, health insurance was given to everybody. Today, I know many people who have benefited from Ayushman Bharat. They have gone to hospitals without having to depend on their relatives. What about the sense of pride infused in them because of this independence in terms of financial support? This has not happened before. And, housing for rural poor, that has tremendously affected people in all areas of Nagaland. Go to village after village, you will see the development. Nobody will say that Modi is bad in the villages. Only those who are in town, only some who are with the Congress will say negative things about development. Why? Because they are anti-development. They don't want development. They want our people to remain poor and not access facilities like other parts of the country because they want us to remain poor. And they'll talk about issues which are not relevant in the state of Nagaland. I've been a Christian all my life. I've been in BJP for 11 years. I'm still a Christian. If anything happens to Christians any part of the world, I'll be the first one to raise my voice in support of my Christian brethren. Isolated events where law and order is already there addressing that has been blown out of proportion. And I don't think that is the way we play our politics in the state of Nagaland. I think our rights are very important. Our issues are very important. Forget about our rights and issues. They didn't even want to look at this state as a state of importance for them. For the 10 years they were in power. The Gandhi family has been saying so many bad things about our Prime Minister because they simply cannot believe that somebody from a poor background can become Prime Minister of India. They believe in the American dream, but they don't think that there is an Indian dream. There is a vast difference between those who know the pulse of the people and those who refuse to acknowledge the pulse of the people. There is a vast difference. That is the difference between Congress and the BJP. And just because you get a platform in Nagaland, I want to tell you, when JB Nada came, he said he will come. He said, I will come and address the people of Nagaland. Although we are supporting our NDA partner, NDPP. We are not contesting. NDPP is contesting, but we stand with them. And I will tell you the reason why. But before that, I will tell you, Nada said he will come and he came. We had 4 hours of rally. There were 2 phases. First phase, second phase, people came and some people left. I was shocked that in yesterday's campaign by the Congress, they were saying there are so many non-locals. You know, Dimapur is a city where both Nagas and non-Nagas stay. There are non-Nagas who made and who has made Dimapur their home. How can you dehumanize them by looking at the rally and talking about them in that manner? We consider every citizen who stays in Nagaland as a citizen of Nagaland, irrespective of which community. And you know why they are saying that? Because these people came out of love and respect for the BJP and they came to show their support for Nadaji's visit. But the Congress are belittling them by saying that they are plain Manu, they are not Nagas. They are citizens of India, they have vote. They have vote. And they came to cast their vote. The other funny thing I noticed was that in the front you would see, and in the sides you will see a lot of BJP workers, karyakartas from the Naga community. Even Chief Minister Rio was there, Deputy CM Y Patan was there. There were so many Naga leaders there. By saying that there are no Naga leaders, are you saying that Rio is not Naga? What kind of implication is that? What kind of politics is that? Let's talk about issue. Let's not personalize. Because one cannot forget our past. Was our involvement in the past not in the politics of the state of Nagaland? I think people living in glass houses should be careful about what they say about our present leaders. If you have an issue, raise that issue. It's okay. It's a democratic country. It's a free country. We can have debates on any issue. But dehumanizing the non-locals in Nagaland who are also contributing, is because they want to promote only illegal migrants from Bangladesh. The Congress are interested in ensuring that they come and stay here and take over the jobs which are meant for our local people. They will support that. They will support all these illegal activities because they have no agenda for the people of Nagaland. It is very clear. Now, I want to make one significant point. From 2003, when Nephew Rio became the Chief Minister of Nagaland, I'll tell you, unwaveringly, he has been with the NDA from 2003. When there was UPA government for 10 years, he was still in NDA. The Congress had actually imposed President's Rule 1 when he was Chief Minister, before election. Because you didn't have the mandate, you wanted to steal the mandate. NDPP under Rio has ensured and has demonstrated that they will never try to steal the mandate of the people. They will win it because they have earned it. Your propaganda will not work because the fact of the matter is clear to every Naga citizens. And I will also appreciate that even during the darkest hour, he was with the BJP. Our party believes in honoring our alliance partners. Our party believes in supporting our alliance partners no matter what. Therefore, till date, we stand firm with the government of Nephew Rio and his NDPP party as partners in NEDA. Because of the cozy relation we have, we've been able to address the unaddressable problem of Assam-Nagaland border issue, the oil exploitation which was also affected by the border issue. In the past, they were not talking. They were not talking to each other. There was always some skirmishes, some problem in the border. But when two alliance partners came to power, there was a clear instruction from Amit Shah ji that all the NEDA chief ministers should sit down and address these issues amicably. So there has been a series of talks. And while our issues were represented, you would not know. You ask people from the villages who crosses Assam to go to their villages, who crosses Assam to go to Mon, to go to Longland, Mugukchung, Wokha, especially Assam-Nagaland border. How many of them were harassed by Assam police for small or no reason at all? Today, that has stopped. Or at least, that has been minimized because of this border discussion between our state government and the Assam government. Because we are part of the NEDA alliance. So these things have changed and helped and improve the lives of our people. So any relation that exists today, you cannot take some issue in Israel or in Russia and come and talk about that in Nagaland state. Let's focus on our state. And he has been steadfast. He has been really supportive of Prime Minister Modi. I tell you, today he is the longest serving and also the tallest chief minister of Northeastern region, with every other chief minister respecting him. That stature itself ensures that we have very good neighborly relations with all our neighbors. And it has gone a long way in ensuring that our future is also, and the youth our future, because see, a lot of our youth go out of the state of Nagaland. Unless the state-to-state relation is there. There are many issues that may come up, but how will you address those? So he has been able to address because of the fact that he has been in the alliance. Now, I would like to end or maybe stop for some time before I take questions about. Wait, let me finish. About the present Lok Sabha election in Nagaland. It's not just the BJP, the NPF, the NPP, RPI, NCP, JDU, and independents are all supporting our candidate. The entire legislature of the state is supporting our candidate. Because we want somebody who will be able to go and articulate our rights and our needs in the parliament. The Parliament of India is not a small place. We need somebody who can stand up for us, who can speak for us on the issues that we hold there. Not just criticize people because we are free to criticize, but take up those issues for the state of for the people of this state. So let us not trivialize our elections. Let us not trivialize the Naga people just because you don't like us. Let us not trivialize this thing. So it's my fervent appeal to the people of Nagaland that as you have reposed your faith in the leadership of Nephew Rio, I also appeal to you that you support the candidature of Dr. Chamben Mori, NDPP candidate for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections, as we have only 2 days to go. And let us vote the interest of Naga people to power. I would like to ask if there is anyone who would like to supplement.
Well, I want to supplement a little on the historical background of the Nagas that our Sir Mmhonlumo has just stated. In the year 1951, we are all aware that Nagas had conducted voluntary plebiscite on the 16th of May 1951. And in the year 1952, on 11th March, a Naga delegation went to meet the then Prime Minister of India, the Congress Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, in Delhi. They've submitted a resolution that Nagas want to stay out of India as a separate sovereign nation. After submitting the resolution of the Naga plebiscite, that was voted, that was participated by more than 99% of the Nagas. Nehru, instead of listening to the voice of the Nagas, sent 10,000s of troops to the state of Nagaland to suppress the Naga political rights. And we all know history cannot be forgotten. I wonder how the Congress could so shamelessly say that they love the Naga people. How could they even say that? Have they forgotten how much we had suffered during Nehru and Indira Gandhi's time? Was it not the Congress government that had tried to destroy and suppress the Naga political rights for freedom? Was it not the Congress that had promulgated a state of emergency, president's rule in the state of Nagaland during the prime ministership of Indira Gandhi, 1977 to 1975 to 1977? Have we forgotten all that? Have we forgotten how our women were raped under this Congress regime by the armed forces? Was it not the Congress who had enforced the draconian law, which is called the Armed Forces Special Power Act of 1958? Was it not the Congress? How could they so shamelessly come and say and proclaim that they love the Nagas and that they are going to solve every of our problem once they are elected to power? They should know that Naga people have voted them out of power. It is they themselves that has voted themselves out of power. For 15 years, they don't have a single representative in the state Nagaland Legislative Assembly. And here we are, looking at all the election relay that is being going on. We don't want to degrade ourselves to counter every of their statements, but they have gone overboard. And today, we came here to address these issues. They should not claim that they love the Nagas. They should not forget that because of their rule, because of their enforcement of Armed Forces Special Powers Act, because of their military rule, Nagas were nearly destroyed. in the 1950s, 1960s, and 1970s. We have not forgotten that. I for one, cannot forget it because my father himself had gone through all those, and I am a living witness to what the Nagas had gone through. It was during the Congress time that the churches in Nagaland were changed into concentration camps. It was during the Congress rule that Naga women were raped, Naga men were rounded in the village, and the villages were burned, our granaries burned. The Naga men were rounded up and tortured, hanged upside down the whole day. Some of them were smeared with king chili on their manhood. Some of them were skinned alive. Some of them were burnt alive. Some of them were buried alive. Some of them sawed in two. We have not forgotten that. We will never, this generation will never forget what the Congress government had done to the people of Nagaland. And I tell you today, it is their arrogance and their vindictiveness that will destroy themselves, that will defeat them. We should not forget that we have suffered, Naga people have suffered in the hands of the Congress people. And they should not come here claiming that they love the Nagas and they are here to solve every of our problems. That is completely baseless and false.
Would like to open for questions, if any.
Hi, thank you. I'm Mmhonlumo from London Post. The Bharatiya Janata Party recently gave out its election manifesto, where it has been stated by the Honorable Prime Minister Modi that the Uniform Civil Code will be implemented throughout the country. So do you not think that when the if UCC is imposed, do you not feel the Article 371A of the Constitution of India would be demolished from the Constitution? Do you? Because it serves as a protection to Naga culture, all those things that you mentioned.
So these two are being discussed many times, completely unrelated, because Article 371 is a right pertaining to A, especially to the state of Nagaland, and it was inserted during the creation of the state of Nagaland. So it is about land and its resources belonging to the people, and also we have the provision of whether any act in the parliament can be implemented here. So it is up to the assembly here, as part of the Article 371A. So there is no such. It's only it's an unrelated thing, but people want to put it together.
Yes. With due respect, UCC, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, UCC speaks about one religion, one custom, one tradition, one language, and everything. So do you not think it contradicts the very essence of Article 371?
Yeah, you please. I will also answer.
Yeah. At the outset, I want to make it very clear. Before you go into UCC, it is a statement made by our Prime Minister addressing the nation, not particular one state or one community. So he is making a general statement. In our constitution, it's a very organic constitution, grows with time. We have basic structure in the constitution. And one of the very important provision is regarding the safeguard of our state of Nagaland. So you should always read together. It is not like isolating one with the other. So as our respected national spokesperson has mentioned, you need to divide it. Okay? So that is one clarification which I just want to add here.
To supplement to that, regarding this Uniform Civil Code, the State Nagaland Legislative Assembly last year in June had passed a resolution and submitted it to the 22nd Law Commission of India. A ministerial team led by the Chief Minister of Nagaland had in July last year met Honorable Union Home Minister Amit Shah in Delhi regarding this matter to exempt the state from the purview of Uniform Civil Code. There, in their meeting, Amit Shah had assured this ministerial team led by Chief Minister Rio that the central government will consider exempting Nagaland and some other tribal states from the purview of UCC. So I think that's it.
I'm Rahul from East Mojo. So I have this question on free movement regime, or rather people's concern, FMR. So what will the BJP government do for the Nagas living at the Myanmar border who have repeatedly criticized the end of the FMR? And the BJP is then strongly supporting of the free movement regime, removing it. So.
I think it's not supporting. the Home Minister has already declared that we will end free movement regime. But you see, again, like my General Secretary has said, we cannot take things out of context. The ACIS policy ensures that our neighborhood first policy will be in place. Free movement regime is about regulation. And this is with regards security due to the issue of drugs trade and small arms trade. If you look at the report by the Ministry of Home Affairs, you will see that a lot of small arms are freely moving around this region. And there's been attempts by security agencies to curb that. So by making border fencing with Bangladesh, we have not severed ties with Bangladesh. We have already only enhanced our relationship with Bangladesh. So neighborhood first is a policy which will ensure that we have the right policies in place. Our border fence will never divide the Naga community. Whereas if you look at our neighbor Myanmar, they are facing a lot of problems. There's a ongoing civil war, and there's been attempts by international agencies to resolve that. But as far as we are concerned, we are the immediate neighbors besides Thailand and China. So we would like to continue our neighborhood first policy. In fact, the new ambassador designate to Myanmar had recently visited Assam CM and Nagaland CM as well. So it is an attempt to ensure that chief ministers are consulted, unlike the Congress time where they decide and no consultations taken place. And the voice of chief ministers are also considered in the policy matter. So this is something which has been going on for some time. It's not new. It happened during COVID. As you remember, we were supplying COVID vaccines to all our neighbors. So it will not stop our neighborhood first policy. It will only because certain regulations have to be put in place. But how it is done remains to be seen after the parliamentary elections. It will be addressed.
Sir, earlier you mentioned that
You are?
Kumito from Nagaland News Network.
Thank you so much. My ignorance, but yeah, I want to know your name. Yeah.
You have earlier mentioned that the BJP party puts nations first above family. So what is making Narendra Modi be the Prime Minister of India not able to visit Manipur after the violence in Mansa?
See, if you look at the events from May 3 last year, you would see that initially the government had sent the MOS home, who had stayed there for 3 months, and also the Home Minister stayed there for 3 days. And it has been stated by the Prime Minister in the Parliament also. He has made it very clear that every day he would ask of the Home Minister and the Chief Minister about reports from Manipur, and action related to mitigation and peaceful resolution between the ethnic communities have been taken. In terms of both international border and conflict between, conflict areas inside Manipur itself, both the paramilitary and the army has been put into place. And the Chief Minister has complied with all the demands of the center. So they have sent an advisor, the military is in place to ensure that there is a mitigation. But because of, again, the free flow of arms perhaps, sporadic violence emerged later on. But if you look at it, the mitigation that has been planned, that has been put in place, have been able to curtail the explosion of violence again. So the agenda now is to ensure that law and order is in place, while communication, dialogue continues. So after that, a series of dialogues have taken place between the two. The center has been trying to mediate between the two communities, because sometimes ethnic strife is beyond what we call normal law and order situation. So it has to be addressed differently. So Prime Minister going there or not is not the issue. Prime Minister being on top of the issue, addressing it is the main issue. And the Home Minister has already publicly stated in the Parliament many of the steps that have been taken. And yesterday, 2 days back, he went to Manipur and he looked at the issue again firsthand while campaigning for the Lok Sabha candidate from the inner constituency.
I have another question. First again, us as journalists, we question all the political parties. So I just give a brief context before I put forth my question. This election, a lot has been said about Honorable Prime Minister and the Union Cabinet Minister coming to Northeast, visiting Northeast. That is authentic. So also, the BJP and the NDA alliance has asked why the then Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, has not visited Northeast or Nagaland even once.
No, Northeast he visited. He's from Assam,
okay, yeah, that is a given. So, as a journalist, we have asked this question to the Congress, why Manmohan Singh did not visit Northeast and Nagaland. They have given their answer, and now as journalists, we are questioning the BJP. Well, since we have our national spokesperson here, why our Honorable Prime Minister has not been able to give a press conferences such as this during his tenure as a Prime Minister?
See, the Prime Minister has been communicating with the media and has been giving select interviews from time to time, and it is his prerogative. I cannot speak on his behalf. As Prime Minister, again, of the biggest, largest democracy in the world, there are so many issues he has to deal with. He actually, if you look at recent interview also, he has given to ANI, and all of us must have read it. The point is, when I mentioned about Surjewala, our Nadaji is a nice gentleman with clear political agenda for the country. He may be very busy because as the president of the largest political party in the world, he has so many assignments. But he didn't send somebody in his place like Kharge did. Somebody who made vile, derogatory, sexist comment on women to Nagaland. He came himself. But why did Kharge not come? It is the sign of importance they give to the state of Nagaland. That, you know, we don't care about state of Nagaland, so I'll send somebody who has been pulled up for his sexist comments.
Second class treatment.
Yeah, it's a second class treatment. So, I mean, it is apparent. But, of course, people will not ask that question because people are now, interested in what they will say against the government. That's the main focus.
As final call on my first question, so you're saying that the UCC would not be implemented in the state of Nagaland?
See, you're again asking the wrong question because the implementation of UCC depends on Article 371A. No Act of Parliament shall be applicable to the state of Nagaland unless the Assembly passes it, right? So I cannot say they will not or they will. But our Chief Minister has said just the other day that I will go all out to defend and protect the interests of not just Nagaland state, but the Christians in Nagaland.
Thank you.
So one last question from my end as well. The Congress have also claimed that our state, Nagaland, will be like Manipur if the BJP comes back to power. So what is your opinion on that?
See, I am very happy you asked this question because the Congress is expert in fear mongering. When has it happened? We have so many factions here, but we have an inbuilt social system where organizations like FNR has been able to broker a peace among brothers. So there was, spurts of fratricidal killing in Nagaland in the past, before the BJP came to power.
Yes.
We are not saying that Manmohan Singh is, somebody who has done that. We know our issues. We have our mechanism to address those issues. Let us, be realistic about how we address issues. So I think that mechanism is there.
Shall I add one?
Yeah, please.
Actually, the Congress has when met, they actually don't know even how to raise question. Actually, it is not a question about BJP coming to the power. For the last more than 10 years, in the center it is a BJP government, led by our Honorable Prime Minister. In the state, we are part of a government. And the history is very clear. Nagaland has never seen such a peaceful nature of law and order in the state. So even the question itself, rather you should ask them, why you are asking this question rather than asking us.
Yes. So, sir, the opposition parties, including the Congress, have been constantly attacking the BJP on the grounds that the BJP attacks religious minorities, including the Christians, and burning of churches in Manipur and other parts in UP or Orissa, and also Muslim minorities. So, on that side.
See, I mean, there are cases of majority-minority issue in many parts of India, perhaps. Not as much as there was, such cases during the Congress UPA time. But look at what happened in Manipur. It was an ethnic clash. It's not as if the BJP Karyakartas went and burned churches. It's a clash between two communities, Kuki and Meiti. And if you look at Imphal itself, there are so many Naga churches. Have they been touched? So it is an expression of anger and also animosity that existed and that actually exploded around that time. But after that, there has been no such incidences when, our mitigation policies have been put in place.
Yes.
So I think we cannot generalize. Congress wants to generalize because they want to appeal to the sentiments of the Naga people.
They don't have any
Yeah, it's okay. You come and discuss any issue, but don't have selective amnesia, because we know what they did for more than 60 years. And today they want to talk. There has been I, as a citizen of Nagaland, I feel offended that during our childhood, when we were growing out, there were no good roads. They didn't care about us. They don't think that Nagaland should be developed like other metros. So that attitude is antithetical to the concept of development that should exist in our state as well. So for Prime Minister focusing on Northeast again and again and again, it is because he has already stated, and I believe that at the core of his empathy and his leadership values, he says that development of Northeast, if Northeast is developed, then India can be considered a developed country. So, our vision of India becoming a developed country will start with Northeast. And he has actually rightly started the right place. Thank you for coming. Yeah.